Hello, friends, and welcome back to Walking the Word. It's kind of a cloudy day today. It's been raining a little bit, but we caught a break in the rain and we decided to come and share God's Word with you today, and I'm glad you're here. So today's text is coming from 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. And we're going to be talking about today that life is hard. So the text says, "But know this, hard times will come in the last days, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, boastful, proud, demeaning, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, unloving, unreconcilable, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, without the love for what is good, traitors, reckless, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, holding to a form of godliness but denying its power." Avoid these people. I just want to ask you, are you going through a hard time right now? Well, it shouldn't come as any surprise to us when we do. Paul warns us in these verses that hard times will come in the last days. We will all experience hard times simply because life is hard. But Paul says that in the last days, life will become harder for us as Christians because of all the evil people in the world. You know, it's important for us to know this so that we will not be caught up in all of that and take our focus off God. I want you to just take a moment and look at this list again and ask yourself if you have seen these acts in others. All of us can say that we know people that possesses several of these acts, if not all of them. You know, it's quite a list to behold. But we too should examine ourselves to see if we have fallen into any of these. We can easily be drawn into them because of our sinful nature. How remarkable it is that times repeat themselves. Paul was giving this warning to the first century Christians of his day, yet they are also here in our day. Charles Spurgeon says about these verses, "History must repeat itself as long as we have the same human nature to deal with, the same sins to ensnare mankind, the same truth to be trifled with, and the same devil to stir men up to the same mischief." You know how true this is with each generation. The devil uses the same old tactics for each generation, yet mankind keeps falling for them. We must take Paul's warning to heart and trust in the Lord to avoid these pitfalls. Paul tells us how to spot these people in verse 5. "They will have a form of godliness, but not the power of it." In other words, they will claim to know God, but their lives doesn't line up with it. You know, it's easy to say that we believe in God, but we must live it in our life also. Paul also tells us that after we recognize these people, to avoid them. And that is not to hang around these people, not to make them our friends, not to associate with them all that much, so that they won't deceive us also. This is wise advice from a wise apostle. So friends, today I want you to know that life is hard. If you're not going through a hard time right now, it's just a matter of time, for they will come to all of us more than we want. I want you to take heart, because life was hard for Jesus too when he was here. I want you to just know that this is a sign of the last days. So this is a sign that Jesus is coming soon. So take heart in this truth, and let's comfort one another with the promise of his coming, because life is